This is a human comedy event, and in particular it is the Deep Forest Raceway 1 hour, and today I'm going to show you a super simple method to get it done. So the vehicle of choice is the Suzuki Cappuccino with the engine swap from the Mazda RX-7. Now this vehicle is super overpowered, so let's get into its stats. So with this vehicle, these are the parts that you are going to need equipped to it. So we have racing hard tires. You're going to need a fully customizable suspension with your body height adjustment set to 110 in both the front and the rear. Your anti-roll bars being set to 6 in both the front and the rear. Your damping ratio compression being set to 38 in both front and rear. Damping ratio expansion being set to 47 in both front and rear. Your natural frequency is going to be 3.20 in the front, 3.40 in the rear. Your negative camber angle is going to be 2.0 in both front and rear. Your toe angle in the front is going to be 0.10 going outward and 0.20 going inward for the rear. Then for your fully customizable differential, we are looking at an initial torque of 45, an acceleration sensitivity of 5, and braking sensitivity at 5. Now I must just disclaim that your suspension setup, you can tailor it to your own liking. This is just my setup, so you can use this as a baseline or just tailor it to what works best for you. Then for downforce, we see 100 in the front, 300 in the rear. A fully customizable ECU being set to 100. Your fully customizable racing transmission is going to be set to 390 kilometers per hour with no manual adjustments being made to the gears. Then for the second page, we see that the vehicle has an ultra high RPM turbocharger, an anti-lag system which is set to strong, a racing intercooler, racing air cleaner, racing silencer, racing exhaust manifold, racing slotted disc, racing pads. We have racing clutch and flywheel, carbon fiber propeller shaft. We have installed engine balance tuning as well as polished ports, and we have weight reduction 1, 2 and stage 3. So this is a fully maxed out Suzuki Cappuccino with the Mazda RX-7 engine unit, and it produces 585 brake horsepower, comes in at a weight of 691 kgs and 572.95 performance points, which is perfect for this event. So we now see that for this event I did 4 pit stops, so I'm gonna separate this event into 4 stints. Now something you do need to know about this event when it comes to penalties, because you can get penalties in this event, and that is gonna be for cutting corners. So the harshest penalty I received was 3 seconds, and I mean I basically tried to skip a corner. Are gonna see penalties if you do cut corners or just try to cheese it. Now depending on the severity of how you cut the corner depends on how strong your penalty is. If it's a light cut, you're gonna get for half a second. If it's a severe one, well, you're gonna get 3 seconds. So you really gotta watch out when you take your corners and be careful not to cut them. So with that being said, let's dive into the first stint. So I started off the event with traction control on 0, fuel map level 6, and with this setup I managed to get a fastest lap time of a 1 minute 31.1, and I actually had to end up diving into the pits at the end of lap 9 due to the fact I need to change my tires. Now I was averaging lap times around the 1 minute 32, 1 minute 31 second mark for this first stint, because I was still trying to get used to the car around the circuit. So it was a bit of a tedious phase, I will be honest with you. And finally, after, we just kept going faster and faster and faster, because we see in the second stint, well, I had traction control still set to 2, fuel map still set on 6, and this got me all the way to the end of lap 20. Now this is an improvement, and why I turned the traction control on, because it just decreased the way the vehicle was sliding, and it just improved how long the tires lasted. So it was honestly worth putting traction control level 2 on, because you still get the traction control on, which saves your tires, but it doesn't really slow you down. You can feel it slow you down, but it's not that drastic. Now at the end of lap 20 I did only change tires, I did not touch fuel. Now my fastest lap in the stint was a 1 minute 30.4, so we did see an improvement in lap times in the second stint over the first, but overall we also saw our average lap time drop down to just reflect that I'm getting used to the vehicle and setting faster times. So stint 3 we're running with the same setup as stint 2, which is traction control level 2, fuel map level 6, and this got me to the end of lap 30. Now at the end of the third stint, well, I need to change both tires and fuel. When it came to refueling, I got all the way up to 50% before I needed to kick it on out to complete my last final stint. But my fastest lap, which in fact was my fastest lap of the race, was in stint 3, where I completed the circuit in a 1 minute 28.8, which is actually ridiculously fast compared to how fast I was averaging. And now that brought my average down to lap times around the 1 minute 30 to just breaking into the 1 minute 31 second mark. So yeah, we were really getting fast lap times. So for stint 4 I found myself jumping in with traction control level 2 on and fuel map level 1 on. Now with the vehicle being on fuel map level 1, it's as much power, no restrictions, and it's fully just running as fast as it can. And because of this I actually needed to adjust how my driving was, because I actually found myself running off circuits at some times and not actually understanding, because now I needed to change where I brake, and I needed to try to understand and comprehend that hey, this is not the vehicle on fuel map level 6. We are going a lot faster into corners, so I need to adjust accordingly. And with the vehicle on fuel map level 1, I managed to get it to the end of the race, and my race ended on lap 38. Now I have seen other people on the online leaderboard complete 40 laps of the circuit using the Suzuki Cappuccino, but even with me just doing 38 laps, I still managed to complete the event, lap the opponents. So it's not even to say that the opponents were closely behind me or not that far away. We gapped them, as we saw some opponents who are actually lapped twice. That's how good the Suzuki Cappuccino is. So if you are struggling with this event, I would highly suggest you try it out with this vehicle. The Suzuki is more than powerful enough. It handles decently well. Yes, it can snap and bite back, but look, it's tame 90% of the time, and you can set fast, like when I say fast, I mean fast, competitive lap times. So I hope this video helps you if you are struggling with this event, and if it does, don't forget, leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content, because I'm gonna be completing and making all the human comedy events, well, guides to these events. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.